Welcome to your practice. I hope you take a moment to just be really proud of yourself for getting on your mat today. Just finding a moment of gratitude for all that you are about to do, you know? And before we truly get started in true oils and Om fashion, we'll start with 3 deep breaths with balance. That's what I'm using from doTERRA. Any oil or no oil. It really is up to you. So taking a nice deep breath in through the nose. Hold and exhaling through the mouth. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling, letting the palms come down as you find your easy seat. Remember, you can always prop up on a blanket or a block. Let your shoulders release down, a space come between the teeth. Closing the eyes or soft gaze down. Just shift your focus to scan from the top of the head to the tip of the toe and check in with how you're feeling physically, but also energetically and emotionally. And perhaps consider what you'd like to shift during your practice. Beginning now to shift the focus to the breath. Counting how long it takes you to inhale. A pause, and then see if you can exhale that same amount, or maybe a count or 2 longer. Allowing ourselves to pump the brakes. Perhaps taking the to-do list, whatever thoughts are going on in your mind, and putting them in your little yoga shelf, in your little yoga drawer, as it'll be there when we're done with our practice. Allowing yourself to find the bridge, the connection between your body and your mind and your breath. And perhaps beginning to engage Ujjayi pranayama. So inhale, and as you exhale, start to find that ha sound, the ocean sounding breath in the back of the throat. And after your next exhalation, blinking the eyes open if they were closed, and you're gonna roll forward, or however it feels best to come to tabletop. Stacking the wrists and the shoulders, the knees and the hips. Knees are hip width apart, and then spread those fingertips nice and wide, and then find like a little suction cup with your palm and press your fingertips down. Pressing the tops of the feet down, and feel like someone is almost pulling like a hair on your head, so you feel really elongated from your tailbone to the top of the head. Pull that navel in like someone's going to poke you in the belly. So very active here. And then one last little step. Take your arms out like you're going to do a little push-up, but then clip your wings and extend. Feel your shoulder blades come together ever so slightly. On your next breath in, you're going to start to drop the belly. Let the heart come in between the arms. Look up. And then you'll tuck the tail, exhale, really drop the crown of the head, maybe give it a little shake. So inhaling, dropping the belly, opening your heart, shine your Care Bear light. And then exhale, tuck the tail. And relax the head. So you're gonna keep going on your breath here. So if you find any spots you wanna hang out in, please do find any organic movements here as you really start to come into the practice. Linking that breath with your movement. And we'll take one more round of cat-cow before we meet in that nice tabletop. And then as we come to tabletop, again, pull that navel in. We're going to take the right foot and step it back and really push into the heel. Keep pulling that navel up. The hips are square. You're really pressing into that knee as well as your hands. And then we're going to lift that right leg. Now, if you can, look down and make sure the toes are pointed face down. Hips are square. And you can stay here or left thumb up, 7 up. Arm comes by the ear. And we breathe and hold. Inhale, maybe reach up a little bit higher. And exhale, releasing back to table. This time the left foot will come back. We really push into that heel. Say hello, calf and Achilles. And they say, where have you been all my life? This stretch. And then finding your balance in between those 3 points as you lift that left leg. Take a look. Heel, heel. Toes are down. Hips are square. Hanging out here or right arm, thumb up, 7 up. And that arm comes right by the ear. Pull the belly in and up. Keep breathing, inhaling and exhaling that Ujjayi pranayama. Inhale, maybe lift up a little bit higher, and exhaling, returning to tabletop. Walk your hands forward, about a foot. Reestablish those suction cup hands. Take those elbows out, then clip those wings, curl the toes, and when you're ready, exhale, upside down triangle, downward facing dog. The feet can be a little bit wider for that first dog, if that feels good. It does to me today. And just find some organic movement here. Your first dog of the day. We're breathing. We're saying, oh, how is that lower body especially healing? As well as the upper body, as well as the back. No judgment, it's just noticing. So if you have your legs wide like mine, we're just gonna bring them back so that they're hip width apart. Your feet are on train tracks and you're up on your tippy toes. So we can really press the chest towards the thighs. And then maybe we start to lengthen those knees towards the mat, but that's not what's important. It's a nice long spine. If you take your ears side to side, you're gonna hit your biceps. Breathing and holding. And now we're gonna walk our hands back to our feet. When you get there, bend your knees a whole lot and just let yourself hang over. And you can find a little movement if you'd like, ragdoll. Check it out, feet are parallel. And then really slow, so really press your feet down. Now feel like you're gonna pull your mat apart with your feet. And you're gonna start to roll up. It's like you're zipping your legs. You zip your thighs, zip your belly, and you roll your shoulder blades up and back and down, and release those hands and spread the palms. Lift all 10 toes, feel the arches lift. Feel that sacrum kind of push down, melt downwards, and then melt the toes down, but keep the heels lifted. Find your focal point. Very active here. And committing throughout practice today to the breath and using the breath to find the movement. And now as we just shake it out, we'll walk towards the top of the mat. So you get to pick. I like to stand big toes together, heels slightly apart. You might like to stand more hip width. Remember, as always, our hips are not our shoulder width. We want to go right down from that femur bone. And then engage just how we were at the back of the mat, where we feel like we're going to rip apart the mat with our feet. We pull in that belly. Roll those shoulder blades back and down. We find that strong mountain pose. Breathe and lift the arms up, maybe look up. And as we exhale, you're gonna push your booty back, nice long spine, bend the knees as much as you need to, and we're coming all the way down to a forward fold. Big bend in the knees, especially for this first one. Hands to thighs or shin. Inhale, flat back posture. Let's tone that belly, the obliques. We're really reaching out. It's like I'm gonna come over and put a server tray of glasses with water. We don't wanna spill the water. Pulling and breathing. Take those shoulder blades into your back pockets. And on your breath out, we're just gonna lower back down, forward fold. Let's roll up, zip it up. Inhale, the arms lift overhead. And exhale, we fold forward again. Bending those knees as much as you'd like. Inhale to your flat back. Push down, lengthen. Exhale and fold. Drop the crown of the head and inhale, zip up, roll up, lift up. One more time. Exhale, half sun sow. Inhale, flat back. Exhale to your fold. Inhale, roll it up, arms left, look up, maybe the palms touch this time. Exhale, hands to the heart center and close the eyes and notice any shifts. Moving on to our sun A. So blinking the eyes open, inhale, lift up the arms, looking up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, engage those legs, bend the knees, hands come down, and we step back to plank pose. Let's drop to our knees, and we are in a nice alignment, dropping those hips down maybe ever so slightly, so our hips are up or a sinker, nice strong line. We're gonna shift ourselves forward just a little bit, and then as we lower down, those elbows kiss the sides, and then we roll the shoulder blades in the back pockets. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. Squeeze the thighs so the knees lift. And look mano, hands. Inhale, lift up to baby cobra. And exhale, lower down. You're gonna curl your toes. Push yourself to a tabletop, curl the toes, and exhale, downward facing dog. Check out your feet. Make sure they're parallel, hip width. Maybe you're going for a little walk of the dog. And then step the feet. No, you know what? Don't do that. Just walk the feet forward slowly. There was something I wanted to do, but I want you to have blocks if you want. Remember, you can come up onto those spider fingers. I have to, or even blocks. And then we'll find that forward fold. Now inhale to that flat back. You're engaging those legs. You're pulling that belly in. And then let the arms fly out like a T. Then you push down to lift up and reverse forward fold. Maybe the hands touch and we exhale. Hands to heart center. Inhale, you're gonna lift those arms straight up. And as you exhale, forward fold, slicing down. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, we're bending the knees, stepping back into our nice plank, dropping the knees again. Undo the toes, shift forward. This time, lowering down, down, down with control. The hips come to the mat, and we inhale, lift. You're squeezing those thighs so the knees are lifted. You're pulling those shoulder blades together. Can those elbows touch the sides of the body? Lower down. Inhale to table. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now, step those feet together for me. And inhale, lift the right leg up. We're going heel to glute. And then as we bring the knee to the chest in a cat back, then we step that foot forward. And then rock forward and back a little bit until you're ready to tick-tock, lift all the way up, and then fold. Now you get to pick reverse, forward fold, or rolling up, arms lift, and exhale, hands to the heart center. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, as we slice down. Now down here, I'm gonna find my blocks and put them on my mat. flat back, bending the knees. I'm gonna put my hands on my blocks and I'm gonna step back to plank. Maybe. I was trying to get my block in alignment here. Okay, so I'm gonna drop to my knees. I'm gonna shift forward a little bit, and then I'm bending the elbows, kissing the ribs. You'll see my hips are up to help me come in to a little bit of a modified up dog. And you can always be doing this without blocks, but the hips are lifted, but I still have my knees down for just a second. Now press into the tops of the feet and lift those knees. Open through the collarbones. Try to release the glutes a little bit. And then drop the knees, push back into a little child's pose. So you can take those hands off of the blocks and then come back to downward facing dog. Take those feet together. Inhale the left leg up. You go heel to glute, knee to chest. You're doing that cat back. You can come up onto your blocks to make it easier to step forward. And then we just do a little tic-tac rock. When you're ready, all the way to the top of the mat, and then we fold forward. Reverse your swan dive, or rolling it up. Arms lift up. Exhale, hands to heart center. And I think one more Sunday. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale as you fold. You can pick blocks or no blocks. Inhale. We're going to step back to our plank. Now you have all those different options, or last option, shift forward a lot as we lower down, elbows touch the sides halfway down, and then we curl the toes, the up dog. Also, you could be in cobra. And then you lift to a plank, keep it nice and strong, and push back to down dog using that core. And breathe. So if you want to try that step through with the blocks, just see where your blocks are. Bring the feet together. Inhale, lift the right leg up, heel to glute. And as you knee to chest, I bring those hands forward to help me. Tic-tac rock and forward fold. You pick reverse swan dive, rolling up, and then we exhale, hands to the heart center. Close the eyes and breathe. So we're going to be adding on to our sun salutation, and we'll start with a nice low lunge, and the block still might be nice and handy. Release the hands, blink the eyes open. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhaling as you forward fold. And then I'm going to take my hands right to my blocks, and I'm going to step my left foot back and drop the back knee. My ankle, and my knee are in alignment. And you can test out the different kind of, what is this, length of your blocks to see what works best for you. You're going to curl the back toe. You're going to lift up. Now, just kind of how we did, like I have you lift the heel to glute, knee to chest. So it's knee to chest, cat back, and then we pop it to the plank. Now you can lower down, blocks or no blocks, halfway or all the way, up dog or cobra, and then see if you want to do a table or a plank before you come to down dog. We're going to step the feet together. So this time you're going to lift the left leg up into the air, heel to glute, knee to chest. We're stepping that foot forward, and then we take that back knee and put it on down. And breathe the breath, line it up. Adjust your blocks. There ain't no shame in the block game. Okay? We all have different lengths of arms and legs, and we want to make yoga work for our bodies. So make it feel the best that it can feel. So we curl that back toe. We're pushing up. We bring that knee into the chest, curving the back, stepping back to our plank. Then we're coming down halfway or all the way. Inhaling to cobra or up dog. Maybe you want to do a plank or a table before you lift all the way to downward facing dog. Step those feet together. Inhale, lift that right leg up. heel to glute, knee to chest. Remember, cat back, step, ticky-tock to the top, and fold. Inhale, we're gonna lift all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart center. So pretend like you have something back behind you. You're gonna have a seat in. We're gonna keep the hands at the heart here. So we're gonna shift the hips back, coming into chair pose. And I want you to keep your chest lifted. So if you feel yourself start to hinge at the hip and go forward, that's not thunderbolt. That's not chair pose. It's a variation, but it's not what we do here in Sun Sao. And then maybe you reach the arms out. Maybe you lift the arms up. Pulling tall, taking that sacrum, melting it down. If you look down, you should see your big toes. You're gonna inhale, lift up, and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. This time as you bend your knees, we're gonna step that left leg back, keeping it up. You have that high heel on your back foot. You're really pushing those legs down, engaging that core to lift you up in crescent pose. Now bend that back knee, and it's like you're doing that little Elvis move. Ooh, yes. And find a nice stretch here in your psoas. And then it's maybe just a perhaps if you lengthen the back knee. But let's get that psoas. As you look down, you should see your big toe. And you're reaching those arms long. Beautiful. Now we're really going to engage that core. We're going to bring those hands down to the floor to our blocks. We pull that knee in, round that back a little bit so we can step to plank. Shifting forward, coming down wherever you would like, and coming into your back bend. Really broaden those collarbones, and then finding downward facing dog. Bringing the feet together. Inhale, lift that left leg up, heel to glute. Knee to chest, cat back, step up, stay. Low runner's lunge, put your high heel on, press down, abs tight, lift up. It's like you push down to lift up. Back knee bends a little, find that psoas. Perhaps it's a release or a lengthening back of the back leg, perhaps not. Breathing in and out. And we're taking those hands, nice strong core as they come forward. That knee, we pull it in as we round the back a little bit, coming to find our plank and vinyasa. Remember, you can always go right back to down dog or even take a child's pose at any time. Lift up onto the tippy toes, drop down to the knees. I'm just going to move my blocks to the top of the mat, and I'm coming into table. You're going to take your right foot and kind of kick it out like a kickstand. Right hand to the center of the mat. As you open up, the left foot steps back and really pressing the blade of the foot down. And then lifting that arm up to a little modified side plank. If you'd like to step that back foot back, you can. But this is wonderful. It's not easy. Maybe you can open up. And then we're going to take that down. Now you have the back foot, toes tucked. Now tuck the front toes. And now lift up and back. We're in like a little weird three-legged dog. And then step that foot back to meet your left foot. Left and right. Am I right? Okay, so stepping those feet together. Inhale, lift the right leg. Heel to glute, knee to chest. Maybe try this time without the blocks, just to see where you're at. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And we're gonna press up and fold. Now from here, you got that chair. We're gonna sit back into that chair, lift the arms up. Now bring the hands to the glute, or hands to the heart, to the glutes. Bam! I mean, if you want to. Now, remember how I was like, we don't do this? You can. This time you're gonna take your left elbow towards the right knee for a twist. Now, if that doesn't work, you take your left hand to your right knee and then your right hand onto your sacrum for a twist. So you get to pick. We're trying to open our collarbones to the right side. And then as you come back to the center, drop your booty, lift your chest, and then you're going to fold and lengthen. Inhale, halfway lift. And then we're going to step back to downward facing dog. Come onto the tippy toes, drop to the knees. The left foot comes out as a little kickstand. Left hand to the center, and then lift it up and out to the side for your side plank. Really lifting, pushing that hip up towards the ceiling, keeping the chest, your Care Bear light shining. And then we're gonna take that hand down. Your back toes are tucked. Now tuck your front toes. Push back into that little kind of like three-legged dog thing. And then your left leg comes back to meet the right. Step the feet together. Inhale, left leg comes up. Heel to glute, knee to chest, stepping. Remember, use your blocks as you need. Tick-tock, coming forward. All right, back behind us. We come into that full chair first. Beautiful. Hands to heart. Now we kind of shift forward, and then we can bring that right hand to the outer knee, left hand to the lower back. Or if we want to try a twist, we can try that twist. Look down. Or look up, look wherever you want to keep your balance. Wonderful. As you come back to the center, lift it up to that thunderbolt. And as you exhale, we forward fold. Take the feet hip width apart. Take your peace fingers and maybe hook them around your big toes. Inhale, lengthen your legs. And then exhale, you're going to bend your elbows to help you fold forward. And just breathing in and out. And then release. And I find my block pretty handy here, so you might as well. We're going to tick-tock the feet and turn the toes out so the heels are facing in, and I just brought my block kind of underneath my booty. Now you can come down to catcher's pose, or you got to hold on to that block to have a seat, malasana, and you can try different levels on the block. What we want to do is keep those collarbones open. We're using our elbows to open our knees, find a stretch in the hip. And no pain is happening in the knees. So if there's pain, try to level up and be there. Be where you are. What you're doing is amazing, fantastic. Now you're going to drop the hands down, or if you're in catcher's pose, stay where you are. We're all going to come back to catcher's pose. And then you're going to start to lengthen your legs. Take your hands to your thighs or your shin. Nice flat back. The feet are wide. Just bring the toes so they're parallel. And fold. And then tick-tock those feet back in. My block is back behind, so I'm just going to put it towards the top. And you get to pick. Roll up or reverse swan dive up. Lifting the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart center. Maybe closing the eyes, checking in. Has anything shifted? No judgment around it. How are you feeling? Maybe you feel sweat on the skin. I know I do. The heart pounding. The breath. And just still stay right in between the four corners of your mat. We're going to put all of our balance into our left leg. And then pull that right knee up. Now you can stay right here. Or lengthen that leg. And the arms can come up or stay at heart center. We're going to take that right foot. It starts to come towards the ground. We say up. We're going to go right past. And we are folding forward into warrior three. Now I like my warrior three with my hands at my heart. And we're trying to keep those hips square. The back toes are flexed. And then we lower down and we just drop the head. standing split. We're going to keep the hips square for this standing split. And now we're going to really push into that left leg, start to lift up, start to bend the right knee, and we can come all the way up, take a grab of that ankle, open that knee to the side to find tree pose. And if you're kickstanding anywhere, awesome. You got to find your tree. Now find that drishti. Hands to heart center or grow your branches. Breathe. If you're swaying, guess what? Trees sway in the wind, so you are right where you need to be. Now pull that right knee into the chest, lower that foot down, and just shake it out. And we get to do another side. So, you know, balance is tricky. Guess what? That means you're growing. So try not to get like beating yourself up or anything if you're a little wobbly. That's actually a really good thing. Try to smile if that happens, you know? So that's what I try to do. So all of your balance into your right foot now. Hands to the heart, we're gonna pull that left knee in. Then stay here or lengthen that leg. Hands stay to center or lift overhead. That left foot, we start to bring it down towards the ground. We say, oh, nope, I'm gonna go on past, square my hips, warrior three. Your hands go to where it feels best for you. Flex that foot. Inhale, exhale, drop the hands, finding that standing split, but keeping the hips square for me. Now really press down into that right leg, start to bend that, left knee. See, it's okay. We come back up, we open the knee, and we find our tree on this side. And the tree from one side to the other might be different, and that is a-okay. It's a yoga practice, not a yoga perfect. So be where you are, because where you are is exactly where you're supposed to be. I truly believe that. And then we're going to take that knee, we're going to bring it forward. We're going to step it down, bring the hands down, and then just shake it out. All right, you're doing amazing. So now we're kind of going to get into the peak part of the flow, and you might sweat a little bit. We're doing a couple poses that we haven't done yet, but I'm going to cue you through it on one side, on each side slow, and then we'll do one breath per movement on the right and on the left. So finding your mountain pose, find that drishti. What do you most want out of your practice today? Let's make sure that you give it to yourself. Push down, inhale, lift the arms up, maybe look up. Exhale, folding forward, bend those knees. Remember, your blocks can always come into play. Inhale, halfway lift, bend the knees, step back into plank pose. You can find your knees, shift your way, come down all the way or half. Inhale to your back bend. Open the chest, and then exhale, downward facing dog, bringing the big toes together. Inhale, lift the right leg up, heel to glute, knee to chest, curve that back like a kitty, step forward, then the back foot comes down on a 45-degree angle, and you're on railroad tracks. Really press the back blade of your foot into the mat, and then it's like you have a little ladybug underneath that back left arch. Bending that right knee, push down, start to lift yourself up to warrior one. We're squaring the hips, we're pressing down, and then lift the toes on the front leg too, find your ladybug there, and then float the toes down. And just forget everything now and breathe. Beautiful. Now we're gonna open the hips to warrior two, and you might need to readjust the legs. I always do. And then you have a choice. I like to line up my heel with my back arch. You might like heel to heel. And then just kind of take those shoulders and hips towards me, and then take your arms to a T. Look down, you should see your big toe. Now I'm gonna bend my knee a little bit more, and I'm opening that knee to the baby pinky toe side. And then really reach to the arms and gaze over your right fingertips. You're going to stay right here. Inhale, you're going to flip the right palm. As you exhale, it's a side lean back, up, and it's like a big side all the way to the back. Then we're going to lengthen the top leg and then come to a nice T. You're going to take that left hip. You might want to tick-tock your legs in a little bit. Left hip is going to sass out. You're reaching far forward. Your hand comes to your thigh. Shin, block of the floor. And we're opening that chest. So shining your Care Bear light. Nice and active in the legs for triangle. We're going to inhale back to warrior two. And then it's like a little cartwheel with the hands. Blocks or no blocks. So you come to that low runner's lunge. That right knee, pull it in, find your plank. And then you can vinyasa or meet you in down dog. So now we do that same breakdown on the left side. So bring those big toes together. Inhale, lifting that left leg up. Heel to glute, knee to chest, step forward, back foot, that 45, and pause. Railroad track. Push your back blade of your foot into your mat. Ladybug. Really press down to that front foot. Squeeze your core as you lift up. Bending that top knee, you should still be able to see your big toe, and you're squaring your hips and your shoulders. Warrior one. Now we're going to open up to warrior two. So find what stance you want to do. As you square it up, open that front knee to the baby toe side. Reach those arms, gaze over the fingertips. You should still be able to see your back toe. Front toe. Back, I mean, you can see that too, but funny. Inhale, flip the left palm and exhale. Big reverse, side stretch. Now we're going to lengthen the front leg. Bring the arms to a T. You might want to bring that back foot in a little bit. Sassy that hip. Reach, reach, reach. Hand to thigh, shin, blocker, floor, and open the heart. So it's not about how low you can go in triangle. It's about the open heart, the twisting in the triangle. Now we're going to bend that front knee. Inhale, coming back to warrior two. And then we exhale, cartwheel, bring that knee in, stepping back, and then you can vinyasa, or we meet in downward facing dog. So we're going to do that sequence one more time, one breath per movement. Bring the feet together. Inhale, lift the right leg up, heel to glute, knee to chest. Back foot, 45, press it down, lift up, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, flip the palm. Exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale as you lengthen the leg. Exhale to T. Inhale to reach. Exhale, open to triangle. Beautiful. Inhale to warrior two. Exhale to cartwheel. Inhale, step it back. And exhale, low vinyasa. Keep breathing into your back bend. Exhaling into your down dog. Step the feet together. Inhale, lift the left leg. Heel to glute. Knee to chest. Step. Back foot. 45. Press. Inhale. Warrior one. Exhale. Warrior two. Flip the front palm. And exhale. Reversing your warrior. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, arms to a T. Inhale to reach. Exhale to triangle. Inhale to warrior two. Exhale, cartwheel. Inhale, stepping back. Exhale, vinyasa. We'll meet in downward facing dog for just one breath. Then lift up onto the tippy toes. Drop to the knees. Push to child's pose. Trying to slow down the breath. then coming into tabletop, you're gonna walk those hands forward so that you can just nice and easy lower yourself all the way down. And then bring your big toes together in the back of the mat. You can put your forehead down on the mat, and then you bring your arms by your sides, palms facing up. Inhale for me. On your exhale, lift your head and your chest and reach your fingertips back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then lower it down. Now keep your upper body down. This time, keeping the big toes together. Inhale, lift your legs. Push your hips into the mat. Keep breathing. Exhale, lower down. Now we're going to inhale, lift the lower half and the upper half of the body at one time for our locust pose. Breathe and hold. And exhale, lowering down. Beautiful. Now you're going to take your left arm and bring it over top of the head so it's reaching forward. Then bend your right knee and reach for your foot or your ankle. And we're going to flex our foot, looking down at the mat for me. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, lift up. You're opening the heart, and then you're going to push your foot into your hand so we come up into single bow. Hips are pressing into the mat. That back foot, the thigh is lifted, but the top of the foot is on the mat. And then we lower it down. Now I'm going to put my right arm overhead too. Bending that left leg so that the left arm can come on back. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, lifting up. The chest opens. We press into that foot. Pressing the hips into the mat. And when you're ready, we'll exhale, lower it down, bring your hands underneath your armpits. Big toes together, heels nice and wide apart for child's pose. Ooh, my body does not want to do that right now. Okay. Okay, it's accepting. So all I had to do was ease into it and let go. And I said, okay, we're safe. So we're going to uncurl through the spine, and we're going to find a seat on our bottom. And I just move and walk so I can center myself. So, soles of the feet on the mat, knees are bent, and you're holding on up to your shins. And you're sitting up super nice and tall. Pull that belly button in. And now it's like you lean back into a recliner, but you keep your back nice and long. One foot lifts to a 90, hold on underneath the knee. Other foot, now squeeze a $100 bill in between your legs for boat pose. If you want to try look mono hands or lengthening, you sure can, but we're going to hold 4, 4, 4, 3, 4, 2, and then you're going to drop the feet. You're going to open the knees into butterfly. Let yourself kind of just roll over. Rolling up nice and easy. We're going to come onto our back slowly, and you're going to keep the knees bent as well. So anything you need to do to arrange, you're going to do that. And you're going to walk your heels as close to your booty as you can. And then you're reaching your fingertips for your heels. So you have a lot of space between your shoulders and your ears. And you're going to press down into those feet. And now it's like you're going to shoot your pelvis through your knees, but then you also lift up into a bridge. And however high you lift is perfect. And then exhale, lower down. As you inhale this time, can you press down further into your feet? Maybe you lift a little higher. It's just a maybe. And exhale, lower down. This one we're going to hold up for 4 breaths. So press down, lift up as you breathe in, and we hold for 4 and breathe. 4, 3, 4, 2, 4, 1, and then we exhale and lower all the way down. And maybe get those knees a little side to side relaxation there. And then you can pick a leg, doesn't matter what leg, because we're going to do both legs. And you're going to cross that ankle over the knee and open up the hip. Now this might be enough right here, and you're a reclining pigeon or figure four. You can also lift, bringing those knees into the chest. You could just support your ankle and your foot. You might reach and find the back of your hamstring or the front of your shin. You're flexing that top foot, you're opening the hip. You can find some movement. I actually like to do little mini circles here. It feels really nice. And I also make sure to circle both ways. Keep breathing. And then we're just gonna release. Now what I like to do is take that leg nice and long and do a little windshield wiper and say, ooh, how's that hip feeling? And then bring it back. So now we'll take the opposite foot, opposite heel, open it up. And remember, your hip story from one side to the other can be very different. So as you start to move into the posture, you might need to decide to go a little, so on this side I can't go as far, and that's okay. Maybe you want to do some circles or a little side to side movement. Maybe you want to hold in stillness. Remember, if you're doing circles, to do them both ways. And then lower down, extending that leg all the way out and give it a little windshield wiper. Bringing that leg back up, and then you're going to pull your knees into your chest. I like to lift up and give myself just a little squeeze and a little rock. And then as I come back to center, I'm going to reach for the outer part of my foot. I think some people might do inner, I don't know, I've always done outer. And then I take my knees as close to my armpits as possible, and then lift your heels up like you're gonna walk on the ceiling there. And then lower your upper body back, and then also lengthen your tailbone to the floor. Happy baby. And you can also rock a little in happy baby too. I also like to take my peace fingers on my big toes and do a nice straddle, so you get to pick, you know. I also crack my toes in this posture. And then as you release, you're just going to pull those knees back into the chest and give yourself a little squeeze. And then bring the knees to 90 degrees, take your arms up like a T, and let the knees fall to one side. And you may need to adjust the knees, adjust the upper body for just a nice easy twist. You can always look the opposite way if that feels okay for your neck, but you know, do what feels best for you here. And then inhale, bringing the knees back to center. Exhale, they go the opposite way. No forcing or anything like that. And then gently coming back into center. And then we're just going to take the legs straight up. Now, if you'd like to do this with a block or actually go against the wall, you can. Hands are just down by the sides. And you're not really super active in the legs. They're just kind of hanging out. Now, especially if you put your legs against the wall and do this posture at nighttime, maybe 5 to 15 minutes. It can help with leg cramps. It helps promote restful sleep. Inversions are kind of our way to reset, let the blood flow the opposite direction, and help us pump those brakes on the So we're hitting that parasympathetic nervous system that says, relax. Now you can, of course, stay here, or you can come into Shavasana. So I'll come into Shavasana traditionally with my legs out, my arms open to the side, but if there's something else that you like better, do you. It's your practice. Try to let go of breathing. And if thoughts come, just let them go. Knowing that you are free to stay in Shavasana as long as you want. You can always pause the video. For now, I'm going to just slowly bring my knees back to bed. And I'm going to bring my right arm up above the head. And then I'm going to let myself fall to the right, all the way onto my side for side lying child's pose. Maybe bring the forehead to the floor of your mat, and it's like you just let all of the thoughts you don't need just spill out. And taking your time to come to an easy seat. Remember, sitting up on a block, a pillow might feel nice. And close the eyes and just sitting up nice and tall. Release the shoulders down, space in between the teeth. And just scanning from the top of the head to the tip of the toe and just checking in. How do you feel now, physically, emotionally, and energetically from when you first checked in? What has shifted? And it's without judgment, it's just noticing. Releasing the hands, and inhale, lifting the arms up. Palms come to touch, the thumbs come to the top of the head. For thoughts. The third eye for discernment. The lips for speech. And the heart for feeling. Nodding your chin down and nodding to yourself and our community. Taking a moment to align our thoughts, our discernment, the words we speak, and the emotions that we feel. Knowing that we are in control of each, and we can always choose to begin again. I hope you enjoyed practice and metta, my friends.